if you're ready to order your van, then this is an exciting time for you. And the first question I want to address is whether or not this makes sense. Is buying a van a good investment? And I would say, as of right now, which is mid-2021, if you're thinking about doing it, just do it. The vans are such a hot commodity that if in the future you feel like you made a mistake and the van life really isn't for you, you'll have somebody snap up your van in no time at all. So I would say right now, vans being somewhat of a collector's item, it's a good thing to get your hands on if you can. Okay, so let's talk about the specifics. I want to go through the ordering process with you guys and hopefully help you pick out the things that make sense for you and leave out the ones that you don't need so that you can have the perfect platform to build your dream van. mbvans.com, which is the Sprinter site from Mercedes-Benz. This is sort of the portal that lets you into the world of designing your dream van. So let's head over here. And there we are. Okay, the first most important decision that you're gonna have to make is what length of van do you want? The Sprinter comes in 3 different lengths, the 144, the 170, and the 170 extended. This refers to the wheelbase of the van. And with 144 being 144 inches, 170 being 170 inches, the 170 extended is a 170-inch wheelbase van with a couple extra feet put on the back, just sort of hanging off. So deciding on the length of your van is going to be your first big challenge. I would say in this regard, you really have to decide what's important to you. And this is truly a tough decision, so it's certainly one of the toughest that our clients have to make. So let me offer you a couple strategies that we use to help our clients decide whether they should be getting the 144 or the 170. All right, number 1, ask yourself this question. How many people will be riding in the van on a regular basis, realistically? If the answer is just 1 to 2, then certainly the 144 is going to be the natural option. The passengers sit up front and the back of the vehicle is reserved for everything else that you need. But if you have a family or you take multiple pets with you everywhere you go, then the 170 is probably going to be the better choice. As soon as you bring extra passengers into the equation, then the 170 is usually the decision that we guide most people in the direction of. Okay, so the second question that we ask people is, how long do you plan to spend in the van on a regular basis? So if you are intending to spend weeks or months, do long trips, or even intend to live out of the van for a given amount of time, then the 170 is going to be the better option because you're going to need all the extra space on the inside for storage and creature comforts just to make it more comfortable. If you're more of a weekend warrior and you might spend a night or 2 in the van and occasionally take a longer trip, then the 144 is probably going to be the best option. So those are the 2 questions we typically ask, and from that I can usually gather whether or not somebody should be in the shorter van or the longer one. Okay, let's jump onto the website. I'm here at mbvans.com. Now that we have the length of our vehicle picked out, let's get into whether we're going to be picking out a cargo van, crew van, or a passenger van. Generally, if you're going to do a major upfit on the van, then you simply want to go with the cargo van. The cargo van is essentially empty from behind the driver's seat to the back doors, not much going on in there at all, and that's actually a really great place to start an upfit. For the crew van is essentially the cargo van with a 3-person bench seat, and they add a few windows and just a basic van that you would use to haul things, but has a bench seat in it. If you definitely know that you want that specific bench seat, then the crew van is probably the best option, but otherwise cargo van. And finally, the passenger van, which is really your people hauler. It's going to have multiple rows of bench seats, and Mercedes will put in a basic comfort package like a floor and some walls and a basic headliner, cup holders, lights, just enough to get you by in terms of carrying passengers. So we really only recommend the passenger van if your main purpose is to haul people, you don't really want to do an upfit on the van, and you're happy with the way that it comes off the lot, just buy the passenger fan and run with it. So let's go ahead and select the cargo van, which is the most common build out that we recommend for people. Okay, so now on to low roof versus high roof. Even if you may be thinking that the low roof might be a better option because of aerodynamics or something else, I would generally say to stay away from the low roof vans. You can't stand up on the inside of them, and also it's pretty hard to come by pop tops and other ways to retrofit it into a van that you can stand up in. So generally, let's stay with the high roof van, and I'm going to select the 144 here. We're just going to go through basically the vans that we recently purchased for Vanland, which were 144-inch four-wheel drive, high roof cargo vans for our future clients. And I'm just going to show you the features that I picked out and go over the reasoning as to why. So the 4x4 is definitely the way to go with the Sprinter van, even though it's some $8,500 more expensive to get four-wheel drive. It's really worth it on these vans. I've definitely had them stuck before when I only had a two-wheel drive van. The four-wheel drive is definitely the most desirable in terms of resale, so that's the one that we're going to select here today. And for me, the 2500 with 3,700 pounds of payload is going to be enough, so we're going to select that. Okay, so now that we've selected that, here we are picking out our color. This is fun. It's really a personal preference. All of the colors are generally pretty good on the vans. The premium colors, I think, are worth it. If you like one of those colors specifically, then you can go with premium or premium metallic. There are a few colors that you might want to stay away from, like the DHL yellow. That blue, for some people may work, but not for me. And the aqua green, I don't know, maybe you're into aqua green. Generally, the grays, the blues, and some of the darker grays are all great colors on these vans. All right, next we will look at the fabrics. Certainly, my selection would always be to go with the leather or leatherette fabric. The more basic fabrics that you can get as options with the vans they're just scratchy and hot. I would say stay away from them and go with the leatherette. All right, and now we're getting to the features that you really need to put some thought into in terms of buying them up front versus getting them done through your upfitter. My philosophy is that everything that is in the front of the van, so the seats, the dashboard, and everything that you can see while you're sitting in the driver's seat should be purchased through the dealer because it's going to be integrated with the rest of the van. The finishes are going to be better, and generally it's just going to cost you less and you'll have less problems. For instance, there's no need to add an aftermarket stereo to the dash of these. You're much better off getting the 10.5-inch screen. It just has so much information that's integrated into the vehicle. You can check your tire pressure, your oil temperature, GPS, maps, history. So basically anything in the forward part of the van you want to get when you order it. Anything in the back of the van, you might as well just exclude it. So that's kind of my philosophy on how to select some of these packages. Okay, so this can get a little bit confusing. Admittedly, I've even been through this process multiple times, picking out vans, and I'm still kind of confused in terms of what packages go with which. But fortunately, the website doesn't let you make any major mistakes and spec out a van that can't be built in real life. So let's just go through these. It's going to take a minute, so sit back and enjoy the ride. If you're really going to do this, then you want to go through each feature individually. So let's take a look at the comfort package. This is essentially some additional support on the seats, comfort head restraints. Okay, sounds good for $269. Let's take it. The driver convenience package, let's see. Some electronics, storage compartment, couple extra master keys, blind spot assist, attention assist. Those both sound important. Let's take them. Premium package, what is that? Okay, the Mercedes 7-inch screen, wet wiper system, leather steering wheel, instrument cluster, and lane keeping assist. Also sounds like a good deal. I would say in general, get all of the safety features. If you see it, buy it. They, while sometimes can be a little bit annoying, they do help. I've definitely had my van stop me from running into somebody through the safety features that are built in, while otherwise I might have been in a fender bender. So since this one has active lane keeping assist in the premium package, we are going to select that as well. Now the Premium Plus package, essentially if you select this, it kind of selects everything that is used to build it, which may or may not make sense, but basically as you select one of these packages, it will go through and explain to you, kind of what you're adding and what needs to be added, and what will be removed, as you can see here. So the premium package has the 360-degree camera. These are amazing. Forward, sides, rear. But it's cool because you can like this is forward, so like we can't even see down here. You can basically see.
Oh yeah. Wow. That's a really great little feature.
So yeah, then you can just point these like where you want to be when you're back there.
Oh, and there's the tree. Perfect.
Driving one of these big vans without the new camera system just feels totally dangerous, but with the new system, and I'm referring to like backing up, especially you're going through narrow spaces, the 360-degree camera system and sensors are basically going to keep you from running into things. It really works. They're awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and take that as well. Comfort Package Seat Edition. Comfort driver seat, comfort passenger seat. I want them. Let's do it. Premium package with premium, compatible with Premium Plus package. Okay, leather steering wheel, wet wiper system, lane keeping assist. Again, it already pre-selected it for us, so we're taking it. Exterior lighting package, let's see what that is. Fog lamps with cornering light function. Those are really great. Essentially, when you're driving slowly, your fog lights will come on, and as you turn the wheel, they will brighten on the side that you're going in the direction of, which I think is great, especially in California. You have dark, windy roads, and those help a lot. High beam assist, the high beams will turn on when there's no oncoming traffic, and then as soon as the vehicle senses oncoming traffic, the high beams will immediately turn off, which is really cool. There are some issues with it, like you can't turn the high beams on independently, at least not that I found, so some people get annoyed with that, but generally it's a cool feature, so we're gonna pick it. Chrome grill package, that's totally up to you. It's chrome or it's plastic, sure, for 287 bucks, let's take it. Comfort Plus package, this sounds good. Heated front passenger seat, heated driver's seat, electronic adjustability, and yes, that's a yes, we're taking that. Bench seat package, this is putting a bench seat in the front rather than two individual captain's chairs. No way, we don't want that. Suspension seating, to be honest, I've never tried it. I don't know if you can get it with the swivel seats, but if they're not compatible together, then I'm taking the swivel seats all day long, which are right here. And this is one of those things, by the way, I'll mention that you want to get the swivel seats from the manufacturer. You don't want to get them as aftermarket generally. The reason being the factory swivel seats are, they're really good. You can sit in them and swivel them. They're going to be less expensive, and they actually put in a lower seat base and then put the swivel seat on top of it. So you don't have to raise the overall height of your seat if you go with the factory swivel seats. I hope that makes sense, but just buy them from Mercedes. Okay, on to the next. Electronically heated windshield. It's one of those things like you're buying a van, let's do it, let's get it. Electronically folding exterior mirrors and blind spot assist. It looks like the system selected those for me, so we're taking them. A trailer hitch, again, it's $146 if you buy it from the manufacturer. It would be hard pressed to get that for the same price in an aftermarket. So unless you have a special hitch that you're looking for, I would say select it. If you definitely don't want to hitch at all, then deselect it. I will say, even if you're not hauling something, the hitch is a great place to mount things like bike racks or little outdoor grills, things like that. So for $146, I'm taking it. Light alloy wheels, that I'm going to pass, especially for the cost of $900, because we're gonna get our own much better aluminum rims. In case you didn't know, the wheels and tires that come on the Mercedes are not that great. Most people switch them out for larger aluminum rims and better tires, especially if you're going off-road. Okay, electronic closing door, closing assist, right sliding door. Let me dive into this. Okay, so the sliding door is kind of a big deal. First of all, there can be problems with them. In older vans and newer vans, sliding doors are never as reliable as you want them to be. So that's number one. Number two, they can rattle. It's one of the places that you'll get a lot of noise coming out of. So that could be an issue. Number three, they don't always close correctly. And the electronic closing assist, I believe, is just on the upper rear of the door. So when you close the door, there's a little latch that is grabbed with a motor and pulled in. That's supposed to like make the door close better and hopefully not rattle. Let's check it. Let's do it. Let's see. Okay, onto the interior electronic parking brake. I am gonna select this. Basically, if you do that, then you're gonna remove the parking brake from next to the driver's seat and instead put it on the dash, which is a good idea in terms of getting to the back of the vehicle and back up to the front, one less thing to trip over. The downside is that the electronic parking brake is set essentially every time you stop the vehicle and put it in park, it automatically puts on the parking brake. So you'll get used to it, but basically if you're starting up your van and you're ready to go, you have to push the start button, put the vehicle in drive, and then release the electronic parking brake every time. So like I said, you'll get used to it, but it can be a little bit annoying at first. Okay, onto the cargo partition, skip illuminated front exits. Don't buy any of the lights that come in the back if you're doing an upfit. You can skip the floor covering. It's not one that you would go with for the long term if you're doing an upfit on your van. And then the rear doors opening to the sidewall. So these are what are called 270-degree hinges. So basically you can open the doors and swing them all the way back against the side of the vehicle. If you're gonna go with equipment that's mounted to the rear hinges, for instance, the Alvan's equipment, you would actually have to switch your hinges back to the 180-degree hinges, which didn't open all the way. So if you can think through that, basically you don't want to buy this option if you're gonna be putting gear on the back of your van. So we're gonna skip it. Okay, Sirius satellite radio, sure, why not? We'll take that. Another thing with the sliding door, you can buy the sliding door as an electric option. So basically on your key fob, you can click the button and the door will open automatically and close automatically. There's also a button that's right as you step in on the B-pillar. There's an option to close the door. And then also again, in the front on the dashboard, there's an option to close the door electronically. I have this on my current van, and I typically like to ask clients who have the electric sliding door, like, what do they think about it? Would they get it again or would they not? And I think the consensus is that it's a really great option, but it's not super reliable. So there are instances where the van door will not close properly, and you might have to do it a couple times, especially like if you're on an incline or decline, or if there's debris in the track or anything like that. It's pretty sensitive and it will basically go partially up and then stop or retract. I've never not been able to get the door shut, so it's not a problem that has caused like major frustration, but it's just something to consider. On the vans that I ordered recently, I did select the electric sliding door because in general, it's a really great feature. Okay, select. Acoustic Package, let's see. The sound system in the Mercedes Sprinter is really, really bad. I'm not sure what they're selling an Acoustic Package for $86 for, what that really includes. But I'm gonna actually, I'll just keep it to see. We'll see how great it is. I know it's not gonna be great. Okay. Rear view camera, head unit display. Basically that's already coming with the vehicle in the packages that we've selected before. I'm going to deselect that, and I think that's if you just want to independently add a display, like to a cargo van that's doesn't have many features on it, this would be the option for you there. All right, active lane keeping assist, definitely, let's check that. And active distance control, we're gonna check that as well. This keeps the van at a set distance away from the car in front of you when you're in cruise control. So it's really great because you don't have to keep adjusting the cruise control, it does it automatically. Okay, so parking package with 360-degree camera, yes, we want that. Rain sensor, also good to have. Electric sliding step. For me, this one is a no. It is kind of ugly, although it is a nice step. When you open the sliding door, the step slides out from underneath, and when you close the door, it goes back. It's a nice wide step, but to me, it's just kind of ugly, and one of the things that could potentially break. I'm just going to go with fixed side steps on this, so we're not going to select that. Okay, importantly here, let's talk about the batteries. Generally, you don't want to buy any of the extra battery systems that come with the Sprinter. First of all, they're not deep cycle batteries, so you can't really use them for equipment in the back of the van. And secondly, they're just cheap, crappy batteries, and there's really no need to get it. No, not going to do that. I don't need the batteries. No, just leave them off. Cutoff relay for additional battery, no. Front engine bracket for auxiliary AC compressor. Generally no, and on that note, I don't usually recommend that people get the factory AC in the rear of the vehicle. I think it comes on all of the passenger van editions, but it only works when you're driving, and it doesn't work when you stop the vehicle. So it's really, if you're gonna have a bunch of passengers in the back, sure, go ahead and get it, but otherwise it's expensive and it's probably gonna get removed if you're doing a major upfit, so let's go ahead and leave that off. Okay, on to extended warranties, maintenance warranties, that's all up to you. And all of these other options that they offer through some of their upfit partners are mostly for work vans, so if that's important to you, go ahead and get it, but otherwise just leave it off. And everything else on here, let's just go ahead and pass on everything. You don't need wall panels, you don't need floor panels, you don't need any of the stuff that they put in the back. It's all super cheap and most likely gonna get thrown away. So just leave it all off. All right, and here we are. Okay, so we spec'd out the van. This is exciting. Let's see what we got. Base MSRP at $36,000, that's where we started. High roof. Diesel 4x4, $2,500. Premium color, all these packages. Nice. So this is a very well spec'd out van, one that anyone would be super happy to own, and the total build cost here is $65,507, which is pretty much right on track with what we are paying for the last 3 vans that we built. So this is the van that I would recommend to you if you are in the market for a 144 high roof van and you want to do an upfit. You could get the 170 with basically the same specs, and it would be several $1,000s more, but really not actually that much more expensive, all things considered. So that's it. We just spec'd out a van. Now we have to get this to the dealer and wait. If you guys have been watching our videos, then you know that getting your hands on a Sprinter right now can take a while. It's an investment of at least $65,000 plus a bunch of time. But again, everybody's doing it, it seems like, and we get questions all the time on what features should people get when they order a van. So I just wanted to go over it in detail. I hope this helped you guys. Leave a comment and let me know if there's any of these features that you think should not be added or you definitely think should be added. And once you've spec'd out your van, if you want to make things really easy on yourself going forward in terms of your build out, then head on over to our website, which is vanlandstore.com. Basically, we have all of the best things in the industry on one website, so you can browse around, see all the cool stuff. Give us a call, leave us a message, leave a comment in this video. We want to hear from you guys. It's gonna be a fun journey for you, and we want to take you along with us on our journeys as well. So thank you guys so much. We will see you in the future.